What is up? It's your boy Johnny Shreve, IFBB Pro, and Mr. Tell It Like It Is. Should Dr. Mike quit bodybuilding? Serious question. Should he quit bodybuilding? I'm gonna tell you guys my thoughts. I do not think Dr. Mike should quit bodybuilding whatsoever. And you're like, Johnny, whoa, man, why are you being a hypocrite? I thought you talk about not doing steroids and the number one, guys. Here's the reason why I don't think Dr. Mike should quit. I believe that Dr. Mike is doing an amazing job educating. He's being extremely transparent about what's going on in his life in terms of like how he's being affected by steroids. Dr. Mike doesn't send off glorifying steroid vibes whatsoever. If anything, he makes it look like, yo, don't do steroids. That's how I look at it. Dr. Mike is on a fitness journey, much like all of us. All of us that have channels are sharing our fitness journey with everybody watching and sharing his knowledge and experience. He's being vulnerable about it. I think the best thing that he's doing, and most of us do, is being open and honest about how we deal with fitness. That's pretty damn brave. To put yourself out there to be 100% scrutinized and judged, for someone to go out and do as much as he does, like we all do, and then to be laughed at, mocked at, scoffed at, judged, told to quit. Stop, man, quit over your head. I think it takes courage. When I'm talking to you guys about like, guys, don't do steroids, it's a suggestion. I'm not telling you do not do them. I'm telling you, guys, check it out. This is what I've been through. Here's my mental health issues I had. Here's some of the eating disorders that I had. Like, I'm telling you all the things I went through in bodybuilding. I'm not trying to glorify whatsoever. And if you, at the end of me telling you all the things that I've been through, are like, you know what, I'm a bodybuilder anyway. I'm gonna do steroids, whatever it is. That's on you. That is on you. I'm not here still glorifying and don't do it. No, it's just to give you guys a heads up on what can possibly happen, or most likely happen, if you decide to do steroids at foolish amounts. And I'm talking, when I say foolish amounts, I'm including those that are not given by your doctor. Because I tell you right now, you think that doing 500 milligrams of testosterone is just a low dose? You're putting your test like 10 times above what it should be in the range. So when I dive further into this, it's like, we gotta really understand something here. When you look at it and like, hey, Dr. Mike should quit because he's going through all of this hell to place in the middle of the pack. Dr. Mike, the difference between Dr. Mike getting a pro card and not getting a pro card is solely conditioning. I am a judge, I'm a coach, and I know this for a fact. And here's why I'm telling you this. Let's look at his actual genetics. And we said this before, but I'm gonna remind you guys, right? These are reasons why he should not quit. What is good genetics for bodybuilding? You can naturally grow muscle. If you can't naturally grow muscle non-enhanced, you're gonna still have a problem growing enough muscle enhanced, especially to become a professional bodybuilder. You have to be able to grow muscle. And Mike grows muscle just plenty fine. Plenty fine. All right, well, what about body parts? What about that? Well, you need to have a good V-tape or an X-frame. What does that mean? Your shoulder just needs to be bigger than your waist and your quads, right? Your waist, your shoulder to waist, and then your quads, so he's making X-frame or V-taper. Mike has a massive chest, a huge back, big shoulders, big quads, and what his arms and his calves are average. Mike has all the tools to be a professional bodybuilder. Do you have to be Chris Bumstead? No. Guess what bodybuilding is? The freaks. The freaks. And the freaks are on a spectrum. They're on a spectrum of like Nick Walker, or I would say Andrew Jacked. And what does that look like? It looks like Andrew Jacked, and there's a lot of bodybuilders that have that freak size, and they have like a fairly small waist. A really bitty waist, and they got all the muscle mass to begin with. And then you kind of go down and you get into like the Ian Valère, look, where it's like, it's still very pleasing, very big, and then you get into like just like a pile of muscle, which you get into like, my bad, Nick, but Nick Walker, right? Dr. Mike fits in there. Now, when he becomes a professional, does he have to be an open class bodybuilder? No, he could be a two-toe competitor. Here's when you might think about maybe deciding whether or not it's good, to let go, all right? If Dr. Mike didn't have enough muscle, I'm talking Dr. Mike was 20 pounds smaller, didn't have a chest, it was hard to grow his back, like he was missing all the things you need to be a bodybuilder. Yeah, at that point, it's like, dude, man, what are you doing, right? It's only conditioning. Let's talk about quitting. I coached my client, Taylor, for 8 years, and 6 national level gold place finishes. 6 of them. You would think he would have quit a long time ago. And you're like, whoa, Johnny, but he's like at the top, man. He's winning his class. Because he's lean enough. He's lean, and then every year they'd say something and be like, all right, let's go and do what they say. They say you need more mass in the back. Let's get more mass in the back, all right? Let's get more of this. We were always conditioned. And that's what kept us at the top always, and then we'd always put a little bit more of this, a little bit more muscle, a little bit more of this. Let's work on the forearms, work on the biceps, let's work on the back. There's always something to work on to get there. But regardless if you're in the middle of the pack or you're at the top, you continue to go. I competed for 5 years before I got my pro card, and I was second, third, second. Guess what happened to me when I got my pro card? I went from winning Mr. Canada to 14th next week. My first show with Vancouver Pro, open class bodybuilder. I came 14th. Luke Sando came 13th. Regan Grimes won the show. Henry Pierre was at the show as well. Fred Smalls, Mike Lockett. The lineup was stacked. It was a great lineup, and I'm 14th. All right, man, cool. Next year, what happens to me? The New York Pro, the Toronto Pro, and the Cali Pro. What I place? Last. First show, second show, third show. I'm not even in the middle of the pack. By some people's standards, I should just quit. But Johnny, you're a pro at this point. Like, you're there. It doesn't matter. There's things I can do. Because guess what happens the next year? I move up. I have to work on my conditioning and putting more muscle on. And I went back to the drawing board and did that and kept going. And then I was like, you know what? I think I'm done now. And then I'm like, oh shoot, there's an opportunity for me to do the Master Olympia. So guess what? I diet down to get down to 212 in a different class, and I placed top 5 at the Master Olympia. So it's like, who are we to tell Dr. Mike to quit when he has potential to actually win? Bodybuilding is a cutthroat competition, period. It is. Because a guy like Mike is good enough, but the guy that isn't as good as Mike, who's more conditioned, will get rewarded, because that's how it is. The guy just has to diet harder. It's not like he's missing a bunch of muscle groups here. It's not like he doesn't have the frame to do it. He has the frame to do it. You know what a quote unquote worse frame than Dr. Mike? Nick Walker. You know who probably should have quit a long time ago? Sean Clarida. You know how many bodybuilders who are at the top of the game right now were told you gotta quit? You should quit. You should quit. You're too small. You're not lean enough. You're not good enough. You're not aesthetic enough. You're not popular enough. You're not pretty enough. All these, you can't. And everyone's telling them you can't. And they're saying, F you, I can. And then look at them. Am I saying Dr. Mike's Nick Walker? No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that Doc Mike has the same drive. I know that Doc Mike can work his ass off. So when it comes to like, should Dr. Mike quit? Why? Because he's open and vulnerable about his journey? So the man's gonna be open and vulnerable about his journey. Not glorify it whatsoever. Show the dark sides of it. We're gonna ridicule him and make fun of him. I had a conversation the other day. I'm not here to tell you what to do and what not to do. I'm here to encourage you to do what you feel is right. And if you're doing something that is completely and absolutely stupid and devastating for your life and your family, 100% Mike, I will step in and be like, dog, stop. Like, stop. I am a friend of Mike's. I will say, Mike, what the F are you doing? Stop. But guess what? I'm not. In this case, because it's not it. I got an $11.99 Pentagal sitting outside my house right now. I know the risk I take every single time I get on that motorcycle. Every single time. Guess what I do just like Mike does when it comes to his approach to what he's doing that he knows is dangerous. I put on everything. I got gear. I will never ride my bike without gear. I got gear head to toe and I got an airbag vest. I do not think Mike should quit. I think Mike should go to the drawing board, make some adjustments that I believe he's going to do, reevaluate, and then go hard. Get peeled. When it comes to getting lean, that ain't drugs. Anyone can get peeled. Yeah, the drugs exacerbate that and make it a little bit easier, fast track and whatnot. Yeah, but that's the difference between him becoming a professional bodybuilder. He has the potential to be an IFBB pro. He has the potential, when I believe, to be a 212 IFBB pro. 100%. And if his goal is just to get the pro card and call it a day, then let my man try it. How many things have you worked your ass off that long for and been in the middle of the pack? Instead of ridiculing him, I think we should be lifting him up, sending some encouragement and taking a couple lessons here. Like the obvious one. How hard are you willing to work for something that you love or your goals? He wants to become a pro so he can prove that his methods work. His love for his baby, his RP app, his Renaissance periodization, all the things he coaches and teaches, his love for that is what's driving him to do something that he obviously notices is extremely hard. And to do that day in and day out, every year, and put it out there to get shit on, that's empowering to me. Doc Mike, work your ass off. Keep going. Get back to the drawing board. make the changes you need to make, and get that pro card, because I believe you can. My dad has been saying this since I was a kid. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. I've heard that forever. Mike's a winner. You know, Mike's also smart. So when it comes to a point where he knows he can't do it anymore, I'm very confident that Mike would be like, yeah, it's enough. You guys out there who are on the fence about quitting whatever you're deciding to quit because things are a little hard, you're at the doorstep or you're in the middle of the pack, you haven't got that raise, you're working your butt off, you're trying to get that job, you're trying to get that degree, you're trying to make the team, you're trying to get that house, whatever it is, and it seems hard and tough and you're like, man, I just feel like quitting. You don't quit. Iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing.